Veritas community. This year, we are making a subtle shift in the way that we do our learning support. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But as many of you know, Chris Herzog, who has been here for numbers of years and actually developed that program, What Does It Mean to Do Learning Support here at Veritas, is shifting down into 1 day a week. And so we were looking for someone to come in and fill out that role who can do learning support both in the grammar and the secondary to take over for Chris and work with her side by side for the next year. And this year I'm very excited to welcome Erin Seifferlein.
Hello.
And you might know Erin Seifferlein from her children. Izzy and Gus were both here in the secondary school. You may have seen them around. And next year we have an addition.
Yeah, Theodore and Frederick.
Theodore and Frederick, right, we're getting 2 more. So we lose 1, we pick up 2.
Yes.
Okay, and then that's it. That's the entire clan at that point.
Yes.
Because Lily's already moved on.
And Claire, my oldest, was never here, but
Okay.
yeah.
But Lily was here for how long?
2 years.
2 years.
She did her junior and senior year here. She graduated in 2022.
Okay, where is she now?
She will be entering her senior year at Concordia, Chicago.
Okay.
She's studying English and communications and has a theology minor.
Wow, exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Does she know what she's doing next?
Something with talking. She really likes talking. So
Well, she's very good at it, as I
she's
recall.
very good at talking, yes.
Very competent and good student. I really
Yes.
enjoyed having her
Yeah.
here when she was here. Yeah. So give us a little sense of some of your background. You've worked in your church. You've done some homeschool background. How are you gotten prepared maybe for this role as you're seeing it?
Yeah. So I'm hanging up my homeschool hat. So
Okay.
I've been homeschooling my children for 17 years.
Wow.
So this is a big transition.
Wow, that's a
for
big
me.
transition.
And we were always interested in classical education. So I was an accidental homeschooler because there wasn't a classical school to send my children to when we lived in Wisconsin. So, but that was a joyful experience. We really loved it. I got the classical education I never received myself. And when we moved here, Veritas Academy was at our doorstep, and that's been a real blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think talking to parents and teachers alike, they say, why are you interested? And we all say, because this is the education wish we had. We didn't get, so now we get to bequeath it to the next generation, which is really exciting. And being a homeschool mom, teacher, you've really seen the breadth of teaching then, from younger years to upper years.
Yeah.
The whole gambit.
Had to do it all with a toddler on the hip often. Yes.
So distraction on top of having to manage all that. So learning support here, we'll talk about that in a second, but really spans a lot of grades. Do you like that? Do you like being able to deal with students of all ages?
I do. I think that's going to be my favorite part of the position, being able to work often one-on-one with kids of all ages, helping them where they're at and getting them back up to speed and confident in the classroom. Yeah,
that's it. When we had you through the interview working with Chris Herzog, I remember after your interview, and Chris was just said, it didn't take long. Chris was like, I really like Erin. I believe she's the right fit. And we had other candidates that were interviewing at the time, and she was very, very confident. I think just in your demeanor, I think you make people feel comfortable. And that's important in learning support, right? Because it's helping students who are struggling for all sorts of reasons. And that's something that we're really excited about you helping us build, because I think learning support's a little new here. I think Chris developed it. But it's really, I think, like you said, it's a lot of one-on-one and helping students get over a hump, whatever that might be. What kind of challenges do you think, and maybe you've seen your own children go through, what kind of challenges do you think students are going to have to navigate in order to get over, in order to succeed here at Veritas Academy?
By the time they get to the upper school, the high school, we'd really like them to be their own advocates, to know how to learn themselves and ask good questions. And I think that's often what the problem is they're not confident to maybe take the right notes and realize how to do that type of math problem.
Right.
And keep asking questions until they can figure it out. And those are skills that I think kids struggle with.
Yeah.
And I'd like to help kids navigate that.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. So what you're talking about, I think, is critical for us. And this is worth talking about, maybe not entirely here, but a lot of learning support in a lot of environments are replacement for, right? Say, child can't make it at grade level, so we'll move you into a second section, and then we'll help you just stay there. But we really are interested in helping a student get back on grade level. And that seems to be what you're talking about. Give them the power and ability to actually overcome something and get back in the classroom.
Yes.
And talk to me a little bit about that as a different model, because I think the other model, which some parents I think are used to in other schools, where you set up like a second layer of education, that's not what we want. How do we?
Making modifications.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
think we need to do that. I think Veritas meets the curriculum that's laid out for the children that attend here is attainable, and we don't need to make modifications, but we need to help them see that they're capable, and to help them get there.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I think that's exactly right. And some of you may not know how important that is and critical that is to our mission to get that right. And I think there are a lot of models these days that don't work that way. And I think one thing that Mr. Fisher would often say is sometimes they just don't trust that their student can actually do it. And one of the things we want to communicate, exactly what you've already said, is let you know you're capable, to show you. And so the learning support is more like tooling them and empowering them to do it, which I think is really critical to us succeeding.
Yes.
One of the things that and Chris has been really good about this, is making sure that students see learning as part of our environment together. And so you're not a separate student, you're part of that community. And you've already seen your children go from a homeschool, right, into this. What were some of the hurdles that they had to face in that?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a big hurdle. Like math was, I always taught it one-on-one, and met them right where they were at, but now they had to keep up in a classroom. Right. So that was difficult for some of them, making that switch, and you just have to be vigilant and be always doing your homework and asking lots and lots of questions. And what else? What other just some of the social things are hard, I think, for new students. I mean, being a part of a large community, and finding your place in that, and being confident in who you are, and not comparing yourself to others. Because and that's great, because I think one of the things you bring to the job is you've walked your own children through that, and a lot of students who are coming new, and even some students who've been here for a while, they're still facing the same hurdles, right? They're trying to figure out what it means to belong here. And one thing we have found is a student struggling for academic or maybe social reasons, and maybe they're really struggling socially and now they're distracted from their work. So someone that can see the whole problem, I think, is going to be really important for us. So we're really excited to have you here. Now, you've also worked in your church, though, so you've also worked with young people there and ministry there as well. Yeah, I teach the middle school Sunday school every week, and that's a joy. I'm the pastor's wife, so I try. You're everywhere. I try to take care of all things. Greet people and kind of keep a pulse on who needs a meal or a hug, and be present and uphold the pastor's arms as he does his work. Yeah. And that's another important point. Some of you may not know or may know, but our work as teachers and administrators is also very pastoral in a lot of ways, and our learning support does a lot to help keep us attuned to things that are going on, because we don't know students struggling in class or maybe other things going on. Learning support has a whole other window into that. Like, I've worked with a student, I can tell you the other things they're struggling with, so I'm really excited to have you here with that ability and sensibility that we can bring to bear. Help us understand a little bit about Erin as well, get to know her outside the work that she's done in academics. Favorite things you like to do, hobbies when you're not working in school? I'd say my happiest times are when the whole family's around the table, eating dinner together. I like to cook, and we like to eat. We like to be outside. We go hiking. The Appalachian Trails, something we like to do on our days off. Okay. Certain sections of it that you like to hike? Yeah, we hike sections at a time. And we'll do you have an amount that you've already completed at this point? Or? Oh, within driving distance, we've completed most of this area. But we've hiked Connecticut, parts of Connecticut and Tennessee, and the tiny bit in West Virginia. Okay. Yeah. So from Wisconsin to here, little changes in temperature and less snow and warmer. It's warmer. Do you prefer that? I like Lake Custer County. It's there's still cows and lots of corn. So that's familiar. That's very familiar. There's some cheese, I think, somewhere. Yes. Yeah. I feel at home. It's good. I love it here. Well, we're very excited to have you, Erin. I know there's a lot of work to do, and I'm grateful for Chris Herzog working with you, but there's a lot of work to do to help build that program out, and I'm very excited what you're going to bring to the table. Thank you so much. When you see Erin around, for you students, Mrs. Seifferlein, for you adults, when you see Erin around, make sure you say hi and make her feel welcome. She's got a lot of work to do, but she'll be working with a lot of your students, and I already know the impact that our team has had. It's wonderful, and we're looking forward to that same impact you'll have on our students here. Thank you so much. Thank you.